Hi everyone! Hi, my name is Zunzun.
And my name's Kim Kim. Just for a quick reminder, what day is it today?
Yes! Can someone raise their hand and tell me what Good Friday is? Dim? Anyone? Coco? You can just yell it out.
It's when Jesus died on the cross.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So, Kim, what led up to Good Friday?
Okay, so Good Friday is within Holy Week, and Holy Week consists of Palm Sunday, Holy Monday, Holy Tuesday, Holy Wednesday, which is also known as Spy Wednesday, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, which is today, and Holy Saturday, and Easter Sunday.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know each day had their own names. Man, if only there was a way we could learn more about it in detail. Wait, what if we have a drama?
Okay, who's ready to learn more about Holy Week through our skit?
I can't hear you. All right, let's get started. The first day was Palm Sunday, where Jesus came to Jerusalem as the new king on top of a donkey. Matthew 21:8-11. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, while others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and those that followed shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest!" Then Jesus entered Jerusalem. The whole city was stirred and asked, "Who is this?" The crowds answered, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee."
Wow, he received so much praise. Does this mean he was well liked?
Quite the opposite, actually. Although it is true that he had many followers, this made him more susceptible to the mockery and hatred from those who were jealous and disobeyed him.
That's interesting. Speaking about those who disobeyed, it reminds me of what happened on Holy Monday.
Enlighten me, please.
Yes, ma'am. It starts off with Jesus at the temple. Matthew 21:12-13. Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves. "It is written," he said to them, "My house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers." I'm pretty sure he did more at the temple, but I can't seem to remember what it was.
Oh, I know. It was another miracle. Matthew 21:14-17. The blind and the lame came to him at the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and the teachers of the law saw the wonderful things he did, and the children shouting in the temple courts, "Hosanna to the Son of David," they were indignant. "Do you hear what these children are saying?" they asked him. "Yes," replied Jesus. "Have you never read, 'From the lips of children and infants, you, Lord, have called forth your praise'?" And he left them and went out of the city to Bethany, where he spent the night.
I wonder what comes after this.
This brings us to Holy Tuesday. Jesus went on to tell many more parables, like the 2 sons, the wicked tenants, the wedding feast, and the 10 virgins and the talents. These parables highlighted God's authority in coming judgment. It also left instructions to his disciples.
Wow, Jesus really did have a way with his words. But did you know what happened after this?
Nope, but go on.
The Romans started a plot on how to kill Jesus.
What? But why? Jesus was a perfect man, and he only ever did things that helped other people.
Yes, Jesus was treated horribly and hated, even though he was a perfect person. Let's look more into this. The plot to kill Jesus, Matthew 26. When Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said to his disciples, "You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man will be delivered to be crucified." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people who gathered in the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas, and plotted together in order to arrest Jesus by stealth and kill him. But they said, "Not during the feast, lest there be an uproar among the people."
I can't imagine how it felt. Also, what day are we on?
We're on Wednesday, Spy Wednesday.
Why is it called Spy Wednesday?
Well, that's because there was a spy amongst his disciples. Matthew 26. Judas agrees to betray Jesus. Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?" So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over.
I can't believe someone who devoted their life to Jesus would do such a thing, especially for only 30 pieces of silver.
I know, right? It's heartbreaking seeing Jesus get betrayed, and it truly illustrates the greed and sin in our hearts. What happens after this?
This brings us to the Last Supper.
That soon? Are we still on Wednesday?
Actually, we have moved on to Thursday, Maundy Thursday. Let me read this passage. The Last Supper. When it was evening, he reclined at table with the 12, and as they were eating, he said, "Truly, I say to you, one of you will betray me." And they were very sorrowful and began to say to him one after another, "Is it I, Lord?" He answered, "Who has dipped his hand in the dish with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes at it as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that man if he had not been born." Judas, who would betray him, answered, "Is it I, Rabbi?" He said to him, "You have said so." Institution of the Lord's Supper. Now, as they were eating, Jesus took bread, and after blessing it, broke it and gave it to the disciples, and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." And he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink of it, all of you, for this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink again of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom."
Aw, isn't this what we call communion? It represents us being friends of Jesus, just like the disciples were.
Yep. And now we're going to see more of how Jesus spent his time before his death.
Did you know he was praying to God before he got arrested?
Really? Please tell me more.
All right, let's get started. Gethsemane. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done."
Does this mean that Jesus didn't want to die?
Yes, Jesus was afraid because he knew that everyone's sin would be put upon him, and that would mean God would have to leave Jesus up there all alone by himself.
That is so sad. Jesus took the fall for us even though we were the ones who deserved the punishment.
Exactly. But Jesus loved us so much that even if he was afraid, he was willing to do it for you and me.
So are we getting into the arrest now?
Yeah, we are. Jesus is arrested. While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now, the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus replied, "Do what you came for, friend." Then the man stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him.
How fake of Judas! Oh my gosh. Does Judas ever repent of his sins?
Unfortunately, although he felt deep remorse for his actions, he never repented for his sins and eventually killed himself.
It's so painful to see someone who easily could have been forgiven from our loving Father turn away from him and run from their problems.
I know, right? Back to the Bible though. Where in the week does this bring us to?
We're finally on Good Friday, today, the day Jesus was crucified. The crucifixion of Jesus. They came to a place called Golgotha, where they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots, and sitting down, they kept watch over him there. Above his head, they placed the written charge against him. This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. 2 rebels were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "You who are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. Come down from the cross if you are the Son of God." In the same way, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders mocked him. He saved others, but he can't save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God rescue him if he wants, for he said, "I am the Son of God." In the same way, the rebels who were crucified with him also heaped insults at him.
The death of Jesus. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Later, knowing that everything had now been finished, and so that scripture would be fulfilled, Jesus said, "I am thirsty." A jar of wine vinegar was there, so they soaked a sponge in it, put the sponge on a stalk of hyssop plant, and lifted it to Jesus' lips. When he had received the drink, Jesus said, "It is finished." With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit.
Wow, that was beautiful. I hope this story reminds you guys how worthy and how important and how loved you are. That even though Jesus was afraid to be up there all by himself, left alone, there was one reason why he stayed up there even though he was afraid, and that was because of you and me, because of his love for us. Thank you.